बोला मोबाइल में कर दिया मैं। आप वाला, ये वाला बाबू कहाँ है? आप वाला, तब मेरा वाला। Hi guys, very good morning. I was just wondering, Dr. Aftab.
You can't hear. How are you? Hi. Video is coming.
On whatever speaking can we heard this.
Hi everyone. Very good afternoon. Should I start or there is the introduction part of that? So I'm little worried about that. I can't hear.
Hello everyone, a very good afternoon. Hello, could you hear me? Hello,
Yes, I
Yes,
can.
hear me, sir?
ma'am, we can hear you. We can.
Hello,
Okay, okay. Go ahead, go ahead.
can anyone hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Go ahead.
Hmm.
Hello everyone, a very good afternoon. I, Roshni Sheikh, moderator of today's global online conference, Impact of the COVID-19 Crisis on the Global Economy and Other Sectors Worldwide, hosted by Vidya Vikas Mandal's Sri Damodar College of Commerce and Economics, Goa, India, at electronic platform Zoom. I welcome you all to the Global Economic Conference. I'm happy to share with you that we have good response for this conference. Now I request Dr. Preeta Malia, Principal of Sri Damodar College of Commerce and Economics, Goa, to present her welcome address. Ma'am, please be on the screen.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Roshni. Good day and welcome to this global conference on the impact of the COVID-19 crisis on the global economy. A special welcome to the inaugural speakers, Dr. Sami Khan and Dr. G. Venkateshwara, resource persons, Dr. Anuradha Jain and Ms. Sindhu Sribhavan, and speakers for the valedictory session, Professor Emeritus Dr. Lance Fume and Mr. Segun Solomon. I also welcome and congratulate all those who have written papers that will be presented today, and of course, the audience. It is now almost exactly 5 months since China informed the world about this new virus and the disease that it was causing within China. And it is about 2.5 months since the World Health Organization declared the disease a pandemic. Today, COVID has become a household name. It crops up in every conversation and most significantly in every discussion that is held about the future. The highly infectious nature of the disease, the non-availability of a vaccine, non-availability of a cure, all this has meant that the only way the government could handle the crisis was to prevent and to protect its people, was to slow the spread of the disease. And this could be done only by minimizing contact between people. And hence, the lockdown in every economy of the world, in every country of the world today. But this has had huge economic implications. Economic activity was aborted. People lost jobs, they lost incomes overnight. Businesses face huge losses. Several businesses may not even survive this entire crisis. The ramifications of the lockdown have been felt everywhere in every economy. In fact, even the few countries that have no reported cases of COVID are also feeling it through international trade, through international investment. The economic effects are being felt even by these countries. Through this conference, we hope to get a glimpse into the nature and magnitude of the shock that has been felt by economies worldwide and the various sectors within those economies. And possibly, if the speakers could help us, what the future holds. Terms such as self-reliance, self-sufficiency, etc., which had taken a backseat over the last 20 years, are finding their way into economic and political discourse once again. And opponents of globalization are becoming stronger. Their voices are becoming stronger. Their numbers are increasing. One thing for sure is that the world will never be the same again. We will be seeing new norms, new ways of doing business, possibly Industry 4.0, which everybody was talking about before all this happened. Possibly it will come onto the scene earlier, much earlier than was expected. I'm sure that the experts at this 3-day conference will throw light on these and other developments that have taken place the world over, and it will help us make sense of all the developments that have been taking place. Thank you once again and welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Dr. Rodney De Silva, Shri Vice Principal of Shri Damodar College of Commerce and Economics, Goa, to present the theme of the Global Online Conference.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
The 3-day online conference titled Impact of COVID-19 Crisis on Global Economy and Other Sectors Worldwide includes eminent speakers and research paper presentations, in addition to an ISBN ebook publication. The conference timings on all 3 days, that is 29th, 30th, and 31st of May 2020, is from 2 to 4 p.m. or 14 to 16 hours Indian Standard Time. The organizers are Vidya Vikas Mandal, Sri Damodar College of Commerce and Economics, Margao, Goa, India. The aim of this 3-day global online conference is to provide researchers with a platform to present their work on recent economic developments resulting from COVID-19 pandemic. We have invited researchers from all countries to participate and share their work with a larger audience. The sub-themes of this conference are impact of COVID-19 crisis on agriculture, industry, services and other sectors, impact on foreign trade and investment, impact on economic development of individual countries, impact of COVID-19 crisis on the financial sector, the healthcare crisis across the globe, creation of new possibilities and building a new society after the COVID-19 crisis, and economics of COVID-19 perspectives from India. I wish all the speakers and presenters on this one-of-a-kind online conference, a very fruitful listening and learning experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Mr. Ansley Bernard to introduce Honorable Dr. Sami A. Khan, Professor in HRM at King Abdulaziz University, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Good afternoon. It is my privilege to introduce Dr. Sami A. Khan, who is presently employed as Professor in Human Resource Management at Faculty of Economics and Administration, King Abdul Aziz University, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Prior to that, he has worked for 6 years as a faculty member in the Department of Management at Sultan Qaboos University, Sultanate of Oman. Dr. Khan has more than 25 years of post PhD experience in teaching, training, and research in HRM. He also worked as an associate professor and the head of Business Studies Department at Mazoon University College, Muscat, Oman. Dr. Khan started his career from Sriram College for Industrial Relations and Human Resources, New Delhi, as an associate professor and has also taught at IILM, New Delhi, Jamia Millia Ismailia, New Delhi, and Staff Training College, New Delhi. Serving as Junior Research Fellow and Senior Research Fellow of UGC, he completed his PhD from Banaras Hindu University, India in 1993. Dr. Khan has taught a variety of courses including HRM, compensation management, training and development, performance management, organizational behavior, industrial relations, and economic development in the Gulf states. Sir has conducted many management development programs, workshops, and in-company training programs on topics like HRM, leadership styles, and management effectiveness, team building, constructive discipline, and basic managerial skills for middle as well as senior level managers of public and private sector companies in Saudi Arabia, Oman, and India. Dr. Khan is involved in teaching, research, and training for last 9 years in Saudi Arabia. He has been writing on performance management, training and development, CSR, and other HRM issues. I welcome you, sir, to this conference.
Thank you very much. Really, it is more than what I deserve, but thank you very much for introducing me and providing the opportunity to interact
Hello,
here.
sir.
Thanks, Roshni.
Hello,
Should I
sir.
start now?
Yes, sir. Now I request you to start your inaugural speech.
Okay, can I share my screen so that...
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, very good afternoon from the city, which is like, known not for temperature now, have higher temperature, 40 plus. I'm in Jeddah right now, and I know people from all over the world are here to interact. This is a beautiful time. Believe me, we are here for so many days. Because of the lockdown, and this is providing the opportunity is something, the feeling which I can't express, because last I interacted with my student while teaching summer, this is spring semester, last month. So it has been a month or more when I have not interacted much on either online or in person, of course. Not possible, very limited. So coming back to the issue here, I know the issue is very relevant. It has racked the whole world. We don't know which direction. There is a huge element of degree of uncertainty. But the human survival is the most important issue, and we all survive. This the nature has created. Of course, the cost is very important, which will be attached, and we just heard in the introductory, like the kind of challenges we are having. So these issues are very important. But I'm going to speak more on organizational side rather than on the problems. I know that there are so many news every day news, like, like yesterday, I was just reading about the impact of these viruses and all, and how many viruses this microcosm you need. And if somebody just cough up, like, and how much you inhale. So it is very dangerous. We all know, I mean, and its expansion is not left any part of the world. We in Jeddah as well, having every day many hundred cases, and although we are doing much better in many respects in terms of death, especially our death is very less than 1%, 0.5 or something. I will share you some data on that. But my concern is more about survival of the human being and the organization. So being a little knowledge having in terms of organizational stuff, I'll be more focusing today on my lecture how to manage organization, and especially what kind of challenges we are going to face. So it is just an anticipation. Things will be, we never know, I mean, the future. But you have to, somebody has said you have to create future. So of course, sometimes you can't do, but how you respond. So this is a very important and challenge for all of us. And in that context, what are the challenges for managing people in organization, especially? So I'm going to speak more on that issue. Other than that, so of course, there are so many issues which are very interesting, and we all know the impact on economy across the world. We have seen so many people dying in US, in Europe, and every part of the world. Now we are picking, I mean, in India and all, like, 7,000 people infecting, and so many people, like, 7,000 plus. And then there are so many people, like, dying every day. So this is a huge challenge. And in that context, how to come out with this kind of lockdown? These are the challenges all of us we are having. Just a few, like, I'll just jump to that because I'm limited to my time. I think 20 minutes, I will try to do that. Time allotted for 25 minutes at the max. Uh, so if you look at this, the whole scenario, how it is emerged, we have heard about SARS, but SARS was not so lethal as this SARS-CoV-2, am I right? SARS has killed very few people, 774, which was emerged in 2003. But this coronavirus is really, I mean, is going, I mean, in having no bond and no, like, kind of limitation in every part, and every day new information is emerging, and we don't know which direction we are. The kind of challenges we are also going to have the challenges in time to come, like here as in Saudi Arabia as well, as from Sunday onward we are going to open up, and what kind of challenges organizations are going to face in terms of when the employees come back, as it has happened in many places, when the student coming back, getting infected, and then they come back to uh, adopting another strategy. So these issues are still to be resolved and to see, but you have to deal with it. There is no challenge, we have to live with it. So in that context, what kind of challenges are there before organization? So we all know all these stuff, like, there's nothing to talk about. But since March, the pandemic has announced, it has been termed as a pandemic, and like we have come about this uh, kind of challenges. So if you look at the issues which is presently, like, I was just saying, I'm just giving you data, then I'll go back to the HR issue and people management issue in that, organizational issue more. But if you look at the data, last night I was just getting some data on global cases. Oh God, huge. This is something which is, you can't, I mean, the death happened 3,60,000, which is 6.1.4% of the total people infected. So these are the issues which are very, and if you look at some of the country, like I'm just mentioning here, uh, uh, that is, look at that some data I have put. So it is mind-boggling. Like I saying SARS-1, which was 774 deaths total. But here, if you look at USA alone, there is a more than 103,000 people dying. And if you look at the Indian situation as well, there are new cases, 7,300 new cases, and death also touching more than 4,700. So that is the big deal about, I mean, the kind of challenges we are having right now. And still we are having 54% people infected. So the percentage of people who are getting, cases resolved, and then that's the success rate of any, you can say, in present circumstances, like country, how they are successful in that. Like in Saudi Arabia, we are much better in terms of having, like, 68% people are already come out, and our death is very little, 0.55%. Most of the country in the Middle East in this part much better as well. Like Qatar is 50,000 cases, and also they are also much better. And then UAE, they are also less than 1%, the death rate is there. So other than that, but the challenge is huge because things are under lockdown and they don't know what to do, how to go about. They are going one step further, two step back. Like I said, from Sunday we are opening up and all the organization are coming back. How the employees going to behave? uh, so this is very important. This is the challenge for the companies. So we don't know. In fact, this the coming week, coming month or fortnight is going to make things for us, how things happen. Look at what has happened because of this impact. So if you look at the worldwide happened, like, within a few weeks, if you look at the virus affected the world. So I was just collecting data from ILO. This by April 2020, it affected 81% of workforce. So if you look at the workforce across, formal sector, am I right? So that was under the coverage, am I right? And people were under lockdown, and they're all non-essential services and all those protection. We have heard many stories in the beginning. We are coming, yeah, like Hyundai, facility in Korea getting discontinued because the supply chain, they were not getting those parts from the China. So there has been, so across the world is happening, like, all these plants coming to the halt. We all know in India what has happened. Not a single car was sold in the month of April and all. And the production facility all good. And there is a new challenge now, how to start and when to avoid the people infection because of that. So because you go and then quarantine, so either when you open and then the whole staff, a set of people, you got quarantine. So this is the big challenge. Same happening either the school or workplace. So there is a huge impact on the income of the people. There is a huge impact on enterprises and their businesses. And many of them, they have gone into many, like travel, leisure industries, entertainment industry, hotel, all these, they have gone into in a big shambles, right? They don't have a choice, what to do. So the government is trying in some places and all, but still there's a big challenge for them to come out. The airline industry, we all know, all big, many of them, they have gone into already bankruptcy and all, and many are just facing. So despite all these, support the government is providing, there is a huge challenge before organization to deal with their employee management. And when they are opening up, because they don't have a choice, because you need, thing to survive, right? So there is a production facilities like agriculture and all has to be sustained. We have to live our life. So either we are having either essential or non-essential services also, slowly we have to. So we have to contain it, and we have to gradually we have to open. So this is how every government is happening. Like I said, the Saudi government, we are also doing, like in India also, we are trying and slowly opening. But we are talking about all these issues here. So if you look at these challenges and all, I'm just mentioning here, if you look at this PowerPoint, I'm just talking about uh, he's talking about, ILO, in fact. So there's a disruption in trade and supply chain, like I just saying, and having huge negative impact on the economy. And more so in developing country. It was more pronounced in developing country because of, they have the limitation of fund, FDI issues, and so many things, like, otherwise even the composition of workforce. If you look what is happening in India with the migrant workforce, these are the challenges many countries are facing. So this has a huge impact on most of the companies worldwide. The jobs, many jobs, a huge number of jobs lost, and the incomes force those countries to do something and all. Like here as well, if you look at what Saudi Arabia did, something good they have done. They provided around 120 billion real to support, the workforce and the organization. So especially they come out with the huge, you can say, bailout. Like in India, 20 lakh crore or 21 lakh crore they are given, and they are trying redefining the businesses and happening. This is happening everywhere and all, because this huge loss and the government has come in a big way. So these are the issues. In that context, like what I'm talking now, is we have to see, like, what they have done. So if you look at those issues, especially the employee issue, ILO, which is the world body taking care of worker interest and protecting their rights, especially in the time of crisis. They talk about four issue, and uh, I mean, sorry, they talk about four pillar post COVID, like, policy to safeguard the people interest and workers interest. Recently 18 May they came out with these guidelines, and they say, of course, apart, like at macro level, you need to stimulate the economy and employment. So there is the very important issue, and across the world every company is trying its best, am I right? So this is happening, like I talk about India or Saudi Arabia, or in the West, we know what is happening in US or UK, what kind of challenges and all. Australia, I have been just watching and all and seeing, yeah, huge step being taken there as well. Supporting the enterprises, jobs, and income. This is the second pronged strategy. Third, very important, is protecting workers, because it is very important to protect their workers' rights and all. Though of course there are challenges in terms of many places, like, there is a labor reform also going on, like we just talk about a country like in Europe and even the Australia, India also. There is many states, they have curtailed some of the basic rights of the worker, and that was in the news. Of course, central government says no, we'll look into that. So some basic right, like, how many hours do you work, like 8 to 12. So that is also, one of the issue, but that's what the challenge. And relying more on the social issues, like, social dialogue. So how to involve a stakeholder and all. So these are the four pronged strategy which ILO is talking in terms of dealing with the employee right. The next issue, like I'm more focusing on HR issue. So I'm not talking about unorganized sector, migrant workforce. They have, of course, there is a huge across the world. So either it is in India or Europe. Also, there are unorganized sector, those people who are not protected. They are not working in an organized form. Nowadays, a lot of people, 60% of the world population is working that way, including India. India in a big way, of course, in where the migrant workforce or informal sector, or 90% people are informed. But I'm talking here more like, those sectors which are churning out, a small sector, or you can say multinational. So the principle remains same of how to manage people and all. Either you are having whatever is the size. Of course, the dynamics will change. So here we are talking about, like when we talk about people management issue in a normal day, that is going to be not going to change. It will remain same, but it will be get redefined in new context. So if you look at any methodology, we talk about, yeah, like what organizational strategies or objective, that will remain same. It's not going to change them, right? So your HR practices or people management interventions in terms of managing, either it is work from home, like work from home is a very important issue I have just written, and it has given different kind of, you can say, challenge for managers, because people want to work from home in the safe. And in many places, the people have a tendency now, I was just reading in US, that people want to visit the company, am I right? They don't want to be, they are getting, you can say, bored, or they are getting, so there is a two school of thoughts. One school say, yeah, there is a degree of trust. Top managers say, yeah, the people at home, they don't work hard. There are certain nature of work as well. There is the, work from home is not possible, but there is a huge, a lot of support is emerging, online learning. We all know e-learning and all, and work from home. We are here in the Zoom here is online, we are doing. So this is also emerging as a big knowledge bank. Across. So either it is managing so redesigning of workforce in terms of a job redesigning is also going to happen. So these are big issue and big challenges for the company in time to come. So like I say, yeah, you have to find out your customer, like everything is talk about demand and all, and what they are going to have. And then of course, for sustaining any organization, how you are doing your stuff, because competition is going to be, and then who is the more stronger in that time, he will capture the market. So this is going to happen. So it is not like, your learning or innovation is going, of course, that it is going to be redefined in COVID scenario, but learning and growth will remain. Challenges will be there, how you can deal with. So of course the context will change, but the these issues will be equally relevant. Similarly, like, your business process, I mean, how effective, efficient you are. And a lot of companies are doing social distancing and all. And in that context, like, how they are going to work. Like here I'm just giving you a scenario. Like here they said, okay, they start with the 50%, like in some UAE, they say, yeah, you start with 30% of workforce and redraw, like, in Australia, I was reading, they have the safe work forum, and where they say, yeah, for per square, you have to give 4 square meter. So, I mean, to accommodate, and nobody should have sit, you can say, 2 meter apart, 1.5 meter apart, like, so you have to make that kind of arrangement. So some of the company are finding it is very difficult, I mean, to follow. And every country will have follow its own, depending on its circumstances, its resources, and contextuality. So of course, but these the business processes are going to be very important. How without hampering and all you are going to, whatever you are providing, business or services and all, and especially in that present context and all, where the things are very, very important. You don't have a choice and you have to survive. So these are the huge, I mean, challenges before them. When we talk about HR issues and especially people management issues, we can't see like, simplistic performance evaluation. Like I'm saying, you have to look at the holistic perspective. And especially in, you can say, COVID-19 situation will add more, I mean, like I'm writing here, a strain on this issue. That means it's making more complex. So there are issues like employee engagement, downsizing, all these are going to happen, like, happening already. And this is in a big way. People are being fired and all. And then all those companies are trying to, like, stimulate their workforce and how to, I mean, deal with the minimum workforce, and then how to redesign, like I was talking about, the redefinition of job tasks and duties, and then to come out with the minimum suffering in the present context, and also that the cost of production is the very important issue. So employee health and safety is becoming no center stage, but it is for organizational concern rather the focus rather than individual health. You understand? But of course, this is going to have that issue. And many companies, I'm getting many reports and reading every day that, yeah, this is the employee health and safety issues. Sometimes like employees are getting like a lot of like, mental, you can say, stress, because they are forced to work sometime. They have to visit and they say, yeah, if I get, I mean, contacted by the disease, what to do that in that case? So sometimes they are not have a choice, but they will get fired. So many people I know, they don't want to go out to work, but for their bread and butter, they have to. So, I mean, these are the health and safety issues will acquire center stage, and then trust issue, especially, and then engagement, because people are in a kind of, you can say, fear, a kind of risk environment, and how you deal with that situation. So the whole thing, like, HR issue, or say people management, it is given the, what I'm saying, like COVID-19 has given a tailspin to all these issues, I'm right. So, and it depends. We can't say like, some of the multinational, of course, in a cozy environment who's working in Silicon Valley, their situation will be different than a blue collar worker, or say. So it depends on what kind of organization you are. Either you are labor intensive, capital intensive, size, all these will matter, right? In the degree of workforce and where you are. So degree of technology being used. So it is not only one way, we can't say for all. So of course, that's why I'm saying it will be difficult to ascertain what need to see measures in terms of HR, you can say intervention, and what people management, like, you can say metrics, which will be more successful, because while tracking after long absence in environment of risk and uncertainty, which we're talking about. So that is, these are the issue. There is no one definitive way. We all know market and economy is going to play important role, of course. And some of the issue, like I mentioned here, like labor turnover, we talk about rearrangement of workforce. This is going to be big issue. Everywhere it is going to be big issue. Like here in most of the GCC country, this is the most important issue, burning issue right now. A lot of workforce being like, Indian, Pakistani, or Filipino, or other, like, workforce, we have their expatriate workforce, most of the GCC. So maybe when the, like, and they are going back, many of them, because the companies, private sector, they are construction industry, service industry is highly hampered right now. Most of the restaurant, all those entertainment or service sector are closed right now. So slowly they are activated, then they will get some chances and all. So there is a huge turnover going to be there, or already happened. Like you talk about your performance issues, which is becoming very short term now. And there is a huge trust deficit going to be there. So you don't know what is going to happen to your job. So most of the, we can't say annual appraisal and all that is more important in a normal circumstances. So that trust deficit is going to redefine the whole scenario. Training and development, like I say, it will be on different issue, but more important, sorry. More important is going to be there, like health and safety. And like I say, talk about compliance with the laws and all that will be, it depends. Like it's very contextual. And also, like I say, every country is having like, its own set of laws. And there are many countries who are reforming their laws or to deal with the employees and also that is a national macro perspective. But I'm talking about organizational enterprise perspective. There is a huge changes happening. Huge gap is going to happen in terms, and that is of course the performance is going to be hampered in that. So like if you look at the four I have put into individual, unit level, organization level, all these areas, and financial, the cost of production and all this going to be, reward management is going to be redefined in the new circumstances and all. So attitude of employee, like I say, because of in that kind of risk environment, which is how you are going to deal with that. So this is the big challenges for organization today, engaging employees, sustaining their motivations and all. And what we talk about employee commitment, these are the issue, trust issue, like I said, all about. Organization level post-COVID, of course, there is a situation is very complex and all. So you can't say, it depends on, so I'm talking here corporate strategy or they will have many subsidiary and all. So there is a still like, how they're going to emerge. So new knowledge, new learning is going to emerge, new tactics, and it all depends on leadership, which is I'm going to talk at the end because I can speak long on, but I have to just sum up. So yeah, so revisiting performance and its indicator, which you talk about, because I'm just talking about performance and then overall HR issues and all. Like I just talked about employee attainment, engagement, satisfaction, so it will take a back stage because the organization, it is important, but it will take because nobody cares. They are caring for the production and also that's happening worldwide. They are getting fired and less room for listening to them. So they're more authoritative and that kind. But organization, those who have leadership, who have humanistic value, they will sustain. But I'm saying here, giving the kind of indicator challenges. That's why employee performance, like I said, it is more about not individual as well and all. Overall, also how the team performance is going. It depends where you are working in terms of as unit wise. That is also going to be relevant. Your behavior is also like employee behavior will always remain relevant, like number of people, absenteeism, all that is going to be relevant. So as a HR issue, uh, yeah, health is workforce profile and cost flow. That is also going to be those key employee. There is always the core workers. So we have core workers and periphery workers. So periphery worker is going to suffer more in present scenario. Core worker who have those top skills and all in the demand, they will be, of course, they will be better off. So that kind of challenges will be there. And HR efficacy or those like, how far they are, those people management function is saying that will be the not so important issue, but it will be like more getting, you can say, outsourced. So that practice will get more accentuated in time to come. Other issues, like I say, I talk about, I have put here like, performance management system in general and COVID scenario. So if you look at any process, when you talk about employee performance, so how you identify, how you measure, and how you develop, you understand. So first you identify, you define your performance, what is performance, all this is going to be redefined in new scenario. And then alignment is also going to be redefined, like in the beginning I say. So this strategic performance, like, though the basic will remain same. I'm not saying like any organization like, HR department or people management will not go worry, but your strategic plan will be redrawn. So if you look at, that's why I'm talking about critical at all level of management. So how they are integrating all these, like critical to involve all employees, nowhere. I mean, trade unions are no way. And in time to come, what will happen? They will get more marginalized where they exist. Where they don't exist, like in GCC country, of course, we don't talk here. But in other part of the world, these are all happening. We can see what is happening in India right now in trade union. Is job description is, of course, this is one of the degree of centralization, what I think is going to be increased more post-COVID. And Other issue is, of course, how you integrate those individual and team performance. So this also being a challenge. Just running through a few issues, then maybe I have 5 more minutes. Is it okay if I continue 5 more minutes, Roshni? These are the some of the I have listed. I'm just running through this. If it is not done, it will create more people like more or less dissatisfaction, self-esteem, health risk, burnout, uh, damaged relationship, false and misleading information. That is also will happen. All these are things because when the suspicion and all trust go down, increasing turnover, like we already talked about, trust deficit, decreasing motivations of employees and all. We don't know what to do. Resources which are very limited, and then demands on that, and then unfair standards and rating. All these will happen. Uh, Coming back to the issue here, just and then I'm done. If you look at, we can't say, yeah, this kind of people functions or HR strategy is going to work, especially in organized sector or small sector, whatever size. It is very complex issue. We can't say one size doesn't fit all. So, uh, I mean, you can't say, yeah, is the HR going to work and it is going to make your company change and move and all. So there is a huge challenge now, very complex situation right now. That's why I'm saying I'm talking. Uh, and HR measures or HR intervention varies across industry. Like I say, capital intensive and different sectors and all. So you have to identify uh, what is relevant in one context will be less so in another, because you can't benchmark like uh, we have two school of thought always. We talk about, yeah, customization, and one is the more of you can say standardization. So or in HR like model, we talk about more of universalistic approach and contingency approach. So universalistic approach is where you talk about one size fits all. Is not going to work right now, right? Of course, there are some basic uh, values which will remain relevant. I'm not saying in terms of that, but you have to see the context. So that's why I'm talking benchmark may not, maybe therefore not be as useful as before, because the different factors you have to I mean those factors you have to take into consideration, that what you are doing. Uh, these are the last two PowerPoint, and then I'm done. Then as a company and as an employee, like, you have to, everybody will look into when you are trying to create building support in present environment, especially when you open up and all, everybody has some kind of questions. So from HR perspective, we have to look into what is in it for me. Am I right? They will try to see. So you have to answer. So top management is very important role have to play. They have to create a right kind of balance, which is very, very important, because most of the time what happens, if it is too autocratic, it is not going to work. Yesterday I was just reading one of the HBR article which is just written, uh, I mean wonderfully. He's talking about humanistic values and leadership. So in new COVID-19, what was working, what kind of leadership is not going to work right now. It is more about how you, so even the whole redefining of leadership is happening today. So how is your humanistic leadership, a human face? This is very important. And you need a good role model, and all this is happening. If you look at the Indian situation, there are too many, there are a good number of IAS, good number of IPS, and then film actors, they are becoming a good role model, and they are being appraised. I mean, say, yeah, they are doing good job. Similarly, as a role model to enthuse your workforce and motivate, you need such role model, and your manager have to play. Same with the line manager and all. They have to take charge of the situation and all. There is no blame game and all, and you have to work, which is equally relevant in all time, but it will more accentuated, and you can say the exhibition of that sort of arrangement which was happening before, because there is more you can say the emergency now. Simple thing which is relevant for all situation, but it will be more, like, again I will say, intensified in the present situation. Like communication is the key, very important, very transparent, how good you communicate. This is here in, especially in emergent situation, like, so how good you have communicating. Trust and we feelings is how, like I talk about leadership and all. So this is very important, how you are creating involving people in the design process. I design means any kind of thing which you are doing, so either decision making or the work process and all. difficult. It is really nobody times, like I say, in general, people don't have time to develop consensus and to discuss and involve. They're calling the shots and all. But you have to somewhere down the line, you have to still, you have to go to knack of that, because you have got a team. You can't play. I mean, one guy, am I right? So there is a team always play. So in organization, we talk about everybody. So of course, some degree of, but of course, I know it is difficult, especially in a difficult situation and all, but it can be done. You have to have a core team. Developing a strategic consensus, this is what we call, especially in PMS, performance management system, you develop, involving unions, especially labor laws I talk about. So the union part, if you involve. Last line, and then I'll just conclude here. Like Gibson say, the winner will be those who can transform their organization into something that more resembles a Jeep. I'm not selling Jeep here. There's some brick and mortar. Yeah, not at all. This is what you say. So Jeep is a 4-wheel drive. You say on all-wheel drive, all-terrain vehicle that is lean, mean, and highly maneuverable. So you can maneuver it easily. One that can shift direction quickly in an uncertain territory like today and business environment. So that's mean you have to be smart enough. You have to having all kind of muscles ready to deal with the challenges. And the most important thing is the last saying I say, you have to show a leadership, especially with a human face. Thank you very much. I think I have done. If you have any question and all, most welcome. Thank you, Roshni. I'm done.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a very wonderful and very informative speech.
My pleasure.
Anyone has any questions?
Indeed, sir. That was a very interesting talk on COVID and HR function. Thank you so much, Dr. Samir Khan. Nice indeed.
My pleasure.
Meeting you, sir, online.
My pleasure.
Nice.
I know we are
Yeah.
limitation, like that's what I was talking.
Yeah, in fact, one of my colleague was there with your university last year. He is Jagannath Mohanty. Jagannath Mohanty. He's my colleague from IMT, Nagpur.
MashaAllah. Nice.
Yes,
Welcome.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Great to hear that. And all that.
Nice to meet you, sir. We are in touch. Yeah. Great.
If there is any question, most welcome. I'm here.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Anyone has any questions regarding the speech? Now I request Mr. Ansley Bernard to introduce Honorable Dr. Gajavelli Venkateshwara, Professor and Chairperson of Center of Excellence for Sustainability Growth and Development, Nagpur.
Minister of Management Technology.
Any question for me?
No, sir. There are no questions.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. It's my privilege to introduce Dr. Gajavelli Venkateshwara. Dr. Gajavelli is a professor of Economic, Environment and Finance and Chairman, Center of Excellence for Sustainability, Growth and Development at Institute of Management Technology, Nagpur, India. Dr. Gajavelli has more than 20 years of experience in research, management education, conceptualization, and administration of executive education programs, in-company training programs, faculty development programs, and consulting. He holds a postgraduate degree in economics, wherein he secured the first rank at university level and was awarded a gold medal. Later, he pursued research at MPhil and doctoral levels and was awarded degrees in the years 1991 and 97 respectively from Hyderabad Central University, Hyderabad. He has trained in the participant-centered learning and case method craft at Harvard Business School, Boston, USA, and on case writing by professors from Richard Ivey Business School, Ontario, Canada. Both these schools considered to be the world leaders in case method training and business management education. He has been a visiting faculty scholar to Burgundy School of Business, Paris, and Faculty of Business and Economics at University Diponegoro, Indonesia. Dr. Gajaweli has presented and published several research papers in various national and international professional forums and authored two textbooks in the area of economic environment and decision making. He has several recognitions and professional awards to his credit. I welcome you, sir, for today's session.
Now I request Honorable Dr. Gajaveli Venkateshwara to deliver his keynote address. Sir, you're mute.
Sir, we are not getting your voice. Please unmute.
Sir, we can't hear you.
So I had to. Is it audible now? Audible? Excuse me.
Yes,
it
sir,
audible?
you're audible.
My PPT is visible?
No, sir, not yet.
Now?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir, not yet.
But I opened the PPT.
Sir, you can just share the slide.
Yeah, that is what?
Clicking on the screen. Share screen.
Share screen. By
Okay,
clicking
okay.
on
Green market now.
Where is screen?
It is share screen on the screen, green button.
1 second. Is it right click?
Yes, sir. This down there.
Mhm. Okay, slide sorter is there, and
Yes, you have to share the slide, sir.
slide
Green
sorter
color.
is there. Huh? Green one.
Yes, sir, green one. Just next to participants.
Okay, that is okay. Let me come here. Where is it? Okay. Got it. Yeah. Can you now? Can you?
Yes, sir. Now we can see your slide.
Yeah. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Okay. Can I start now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You
Yeah.
can start.
Yeah. Good afternoon, all of you. I am very happy to be part of this 3-day global conference on impact of COVID-19 crisis on the global economy and the sectors worldwide. The conference spanning today, tomorrow, and day after. And as part of the keynote talk, I'm indeed very thankful to Dr. Aftab Anwar for inviting me to speak in this very important, the most critical forum to exchange views on an issue that is so unfamiliar and daunting and affecting almost all stakeholders of the society that include communities, businesses, the government agencies, the healthcare sector, health workers, and so on and so forth. So as part of my 15 to 20 minute brief talk, followed by the question answers, I'm going to speak on how the COVID global crisis affected the global economy and various sectors, various economies, and what is the kind of a policy response that the governments have initiated to tackle this unfamiliar crisis. Before I move forward, I thank once again Dr. Aftab Anwar for inviting me and other panelists and guest speakers today, Dr. Prita De Malia and Dr. Rodi De Silva and Honorable Dr. Samia Khan from Jeddah King Abdulaziz University, Saudi Arabia. Thank you so much, sir, to be part of such an important audience and colleagues. So next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to basically throw some lights as to why this COVID-19 crisis is a challenge of a nature which is so gigantic and unparalleled in the global economic and financial history that we handled and managed over a period of time. And following that, I essentially focus on how various governments responded to the crisis and what are the limitations and what are the problems, prospects as we move forward, because we are trying to fight a war which is so unfamiliar, which is something new that we have not seen before. So how the policies get evolved, how the policies get framed and developed over a period, and how exactly companies, youngsters like you and me, the governments, can actually try to stay ahead of this problem and overcome the difficulties. What are the positives and why there is no reason to fear? Because fear is always considered to be a false event. So the problem is it really the problem coming from the fear or the kind of a mortality rate that we are seeing? So if the problem is much bigger in terms of the fear is only a fear compared to the kind of a mortality rates. So how exactly we can overcome? Because that is something very important. And then what is the kind of a way forward? Then followed by question answers. 21st century, when we started, one of the important assumptions, challenges before the management of, say, the corporates or the governments or the communities in general was something like this. Think the unthinkable. So whenever you plan something, how is that you are able to factor in something you can't really imagine? So is it something that is going to happen you can't really imagine? Right? So, if so, what kind of preparedness that is required? So if something unthinkable happens, so who is going to manage it well? The one with some kind of a preparation who is already factored into the element of the thing unthinkable, right? So it's a real challenge. One has to take it in the right spirit because we are here to manage it. We are not going to shirk our responsibilities, nor we are going to run away from the problem because that's not the solution. So now COVID-19 global crisis is really a problem in your hand and that actually testing your mettle. So as we see last 3 years or so, I mean, several years earlier, we have been passing through the several crises. In recent time period, we have been, hearing about the Spanish flu, then followed by the Great Depression, of 1930s. There was also a big crisis with close to 25-30% of the unemployed of working people. And then that followed the 70s global oil price shocks that crippled the developed industrialized world in terms of low GDP and high inflation. Then we had the regional Southeast Asian crisis that anchored the regional economies in the South Asian region. Then exactly a decade back, 2007 and 9, we had a global financial meltdown, isn't it? And exactly after years, so we have another real problem. But this real problem is different in the sense that this is not a man-made creation. This is a biological, this is a kind of a pandemic fear, and the government's agencies caught unaware. And in no time, given the kind of a globalization, the cross-border flow of the goods, or humans, or the transactions, whatever, we engulf in this virus within a very short span of time. So completely, it has brought the global economy, the societies to a screeching halt, as if the very motion of the earth come to a halt. And you know that across the globe, hundreds of millions of households, the workers, are locked up in homes, and they are facing pay cuts, massive layoffs. We have been already hearing several well-known corporates resorting to layoffs because either they are affected on the supply side or they are affected on the demand side because the economies are locked up. There are no resources, there are no workers. You can't run factories for months together. So this is something really we have not seen before in our lifetimes, in our generation. So hence, it's really a big challenge. Why? Because the governments have to fight both the fronts. One is, it's a health hazard, it's a pandemic. On the other hand, the government has to handle effectively the economic, the social cost, the fallout emanating from the crisis. And we are not familiar. So there is a catch here. So the government's caught unaware and they initiated rapid action. Okay, the first thing that they could do is to get into lockdowns and that completely scuttle any kind of economic activity, right? We have seen millions of immigrant workers. We have seen the flow, moving across cities during the lockdowns because they don't have a way ahead, way forward. They don't have the work, they don't have the money, they don't have the incomes to spend to maintain the standard of living. And the lockdowns potentially scuttled any efforts in ramping up the capacities to effectively tackle the lethal virus issue. And apart from throwing colossal, gigantic social and economic costs that we have been witnessing last several months. So the challenge is for governments, for corporate sector, for NGO sector, for health workers and societies and the responsible citizens across the globe, in India and everywhere. So how the governments propose to handle this? They literally baffled. They don't know what to do because it's something suddenly cropped up. We had SARS virus issue in early 2000, but it was just confined to one particular region and few countries. But this time, it just like a wildfire. So what's the kind of action that the governments can actually resort to. The first front is being trying to ramp up the medical facilities and to stop the virus spread, to get into lockdowns, right? But when you get into lockdowns, how the economic activity, how the flow of goods, income, spending, maintaining standard of living happen in the economy. It's you want to protect the lives or the livelihoods. Unfortunately, there is no trade-off here. You have to protect lives as well as the livelihoods. So how the governments actually responded, maybe next 2 minutes, I'm going to spare on this. Initially, I'm going to look at the countries of G20 that include both developed economies such as US, UK, and other European nations, then the emerging economies such as China, India, and so on and so forth. So you can see from my presentation, the G20 countries are providing close to 6.3 trillion in fiscal support, representing 9.3% of their G20 2019 GDP that essentially consists of government spending, credit enhancements, and tax reliefs to companies as well as corporates. And in that, loan guarantees alone are exceeding 2 trillion, so that the bankers keep aside the risk aversion and lend money, because that is something very important. And coming to emerging market economies, they have boosted spending, but they still lag behind advanced economies. For instance, the problem initially started with China. China, to start with, they plan to spend about $326 billion. This roughly comes to 3.7% of GDP, well below the way they spent way back in 2007 and 9 global financial crisis. So if you look at the fiscal response across, say, US, Japan, UK, South Korea, Canada, Australia, Germany, Spain, France, Italy, I think in this, France, Italy, the worst affected, and UK and the US, and other countries moderately. You can see the US, UK, South Korea, Australia, Germany, depending more on the direct injection of the money into the economy to create spending capacities, to create incomes, and partly a safety net in terms of taxes and loans. So the worst affected, they essentially depended more on, by and large, the fiscal stimulus as a way of protecting their economies and trying to float the spending power of the firms and the households and so on. So for all the nations, it is coming roughly somewhere close to 4% of their GDP. So if you look at the desegregated picture of, say, Coronavirus Aid Relief Economic Security Act, United States, you can see the kind of money, the maximum chunk flowing into corporate loans, then small business loans, household payments, unemployment insurance, then tax deferrals, deadline extensions, aid to states, hospitals, airlines, cargo loans, airlines, cargo grants, and then the public government transport. So the largest component of the government support is essentially provided to financing the businesses, and most of this support essentially focuses on how best to keep the companies and the households afloat rather than stimulating the new demand and economy. So obviously the new demand and the investments will be taken up once we have a kind of a hold on the virus spread, and then maybe we try to stimulate the economies and trying to take the GDP growth rates further upward and creating more jobs and so on and so forth. So in most of the cases, as far as G20 economies are concerned, keeping aside emerging economies such as China and India, direct government spending is higher than the levels during the 2007-9 global financial crisis. And the G20 countries obviously respond much faster than the global financial crisis. But here, 2007 and 9, the kind of a coordination was much more compared to the kind of a coordination that we are seeing. That is a big concern as to how best the global community is going to manage this pandemic. Because we have been seeing the kind of a bickerings between the world major powers, that is US and China. And when you lack the coordination between the major powers in the world, so one can imagine how this is going to affect the coordinated approach from the countries and also the World Health Organization. So you can clearly see, as I mentioned before, that the kind of government response, especially depending more on the direct injection of the money into the economy, that is a fiscal policy. Either tax cuts, you spend less in terms of the taxes and have more money to spend, or the government is trying to put directly money into your pocket so that you spend. When you spend, you buy goods, and the companies keep floating. So by that kind of a response is somehow it is less. One important reason is the government finances are not that healthy when it comes to the firing power of the emerging markets that include both China as well as India. And we have seen that India also recently has come out with a stimulus roughly close to 10% of India GDP. That is almost similar to that of 10% of US. But US GDP is way above $20 trillion, whereas Indian economy is about roughly $2.6 trillion. So here again, you can see the kind of a government spending is less. So the basic economics tells us, given a chance, a public policy decision maker say whether it is the government spending, taxes, or subsidies, or lowering the interest rates, or facilitating more liquidity, which is more effective. Obviously, if you do simple multiplier and marginal profits to consume, calculations, for instance, MTC for India, if it is somewhere around 0.6, that means out of every 1 rupee you are spending 60 paisa, so you can easily calculate, isn't it? So if you calculate for all the options, spending, tax cuts, and the subsidies, so obviously impact is going to be much more for direct spending. But here, because of the kind of a government finances and you have fiscal responsibility management bill in place, and the government doesn't want its trade rating as it is, India has been not doing well last 2 years. We've been seeing lowering GDP levels and so on and so forth. So this calls for maybe some kind of a reassessment, and I don't think this is going to be an ultimate, a final salvo at this problem. But once we have a kind of a hold on the virus and its spread, and there is some kind of a breathing space, I'm sure the kind of a stimulus is going to be continuous. And the actions need to be depending on how the scenario is evolving, not necessarily just in India, but across the global economy, because the cross-border flow of goods and services, the human capital is at the focal point for every economy when you're talking in terms of the global supply chains. So your policy is not happening in isolation, but obviously considering the global developments and how the countries are able to come forward. That is a big issue even now. So as I move forward, so what kind of a mindset either the individuals like you and me, the household, the companies, the governments. I think I stated at the beginning that the kind of a damage that is happening is mostly due to the fear. That is the false event, what I mean, and vis-a-vis the kind of a mortality. Mortality, yes, definitely far more because of due to some other several diseases, and for which we have not yet found any kind of a vaccine or effective treatment. The only differentiation here is we don't have a reliable treatment or a vaccine for this. But I personally feel I have seen the kind of literature, the experts, and even the healthcare workers, medical experts, they're saying we are paying unnecessary costs to the fear, but not the kind of mortalities that we have been seeing. So how best we overcome this kind of fear? So it's all mindset. It's all mindset, and we are very well educated by now, last 3 or 4 months, how to take care of the hygiene and the kind of a safe distancing or whatever, until maybe a medicine, a reliable treatment, or a vaccine arrive maybe next 6 to 8 months, or even maximum 1 year. So it is to be very positive, and as it is, there are several corporate experts. I think earlier, Sir has very neatly delineated the path for corporates, Dr. Sami Khan, as to what kind of attitude one should have when it comes to managing the human capital. It is not somebody is going to manage this, but it is we need to manage, we need to change our attitudes. And I also look at the kind of a development as a big opportunity that this is now throwing a big light parallel as to why is it we are not acting when it comes to the climate change. In fact, the economic social costs are much more severe, much more burdensome due to climate change that is happening. I don't need to elaborate on those aspects that we are all aware. So why is that we are so worried about the COVID? There are several other equally or maybe much bigger problems to handle. So we need to be just proactive. You don't need to go by the hype that is being created. I literally watching 24/7, the various channels. You please focus, please plan, revamp your strategies, be very proactive. The companies are now looking at the new businesses, new opportunities. Education institutions are looking for online teaching as a much more enjoyable, how best they can innovate, reinvent their teaching strategies, and how best they can connect with the students online. So we need that kind of mindset, trying to obviously find an opportunity in a given problem that has to the mindset, not at this juncture, even in the future. So that is how now we can see that almost China is coming back, though there are some cases here and there. And I'm sure we take hold to some extent and the widest spread come to some kind of a manageable levels. But the only way, as expert says, that we need to follow certain basic hygiene and certain aspects, which we are very much familiar with. So I stop it here with a very positive note. And I wish you, the participants of this conference, a wonderful time, because this is a new issue which has economic dimensions, financial dimension, societal dimensions, and even climatic change dimensions. So this is a wonderful opportunity to reassess, to review the way we are trying to manage ourselves, manage organizations, manage this Mother Earth. This is the only place for us to live. So this is the opportunity. That is how I look at it. So thank you so much for organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much. Any questions I can take, maybe 1 or 2 minutes? Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was a very wonderful keynote address.
Thank you. You're most welcome.
Are there any questions by the participants?
Yeah, please.
Any participant want to ask any question?
Yes.
No, sir. There are no questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Sami Khan. Thanks for the organizers. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
the
much, sir.
organizers and all the best for participants. Have a wonderful time.
Thank
Best
you, sir.
wishes. Best wishes. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Honorable Dr. Samir Khan and Honorable Dr. Gajavali Venkateshwara and all distinguished experts. We are really grateful to all our international speakers and our Indian resource person. On behalf of Vidya Vikas Mandal, Shri Damodar College of Commerce and Economics, Margao, Goa, we greatly acknowledge your kind support. Finally, thanks to all the participants who are from all around the globe for the gracious presence. Thank you all for your presence and insights. We do hope to interact with you. I
Thank you,
appreciate.
Rashmi, for inviting us, and best of luck to all coming days. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate the hard work of Dr. Preeta Malia, Principal of Shri Damodar College, and Rodney De Silva, sir, Vice Principal of Shri Damodar College. Now, an announcement regarding photo session. I request all the participants to switch on their cameras. Everyone, please switch on the cameras for the photo session, group photo. Hello everyone. Please turn on your cameras for the photo session for the group photo. I request all to turn on the cameras for the photo session. Okay, we'll conclude tomorrow. 30th May 2020 before 9 a.m. paper presentation schedule will be uploaded. All paper presentation presenters are advised to present their paper as per the schedule. I repeat, 30th May 2020 before 9 a.m. paper presentation schedule will be uploaded. All paper presenters are advised to present the paper as per the schedule. Thanks all the participants for your smiling face, and we'll be meeting tomorrow for the second day session. Thank you everyone.